Hey guys, Mr. B XRP here, and welcome back. Today is January 23rd of 2020, and let's just hop right into it. I am looking at Coin Paprika, and the market is dismal. Bitcoin's at 83.65, Ethereum's at 162, XRP's at 22.5 cents. Nothing exciting going on there. Let's move on. Today on Twitter, Leonidas187 posted, "Let's see what Madam has to say," live at 8:30. So Christine Lagarde from the ECB spoke this morning at 8:30 this morning Eastern. I don't know, for about 35 to 45 minutes. There was no mention of cross-border payments, XRP, Ripple, anything like that. But she did mention in her speech that they were going to be dropping, I believe their economic plan was going to be dropped at 3:30 today. I don't know if 3:30 whose time. But it sounds like they're going to be dropping a written plan, so that might be something to take a look at. And then also, she also has another speech or another panel tomorrow on Friday, and we believe that Stephen Mnuchin is going to be sitting on that panel as well, and he's the U.S. Treasury Secretary. So that will be interesting. We'll keep our eyes on it. And moving on, Dilip Rao spoke. I think it was actually yesterday, sometime last night. He tweeted, "Key components of a new financial ecosystem being built by many, including Bree Madigan and her talented team at Ripple, derivative trading and digital assets, digital asset borrowing, lending, tools for institutional custody and trade, etc. Hashtag Rome was not built in a day." So Dilip Rao, in retirement, is still coming over to Twitter and telling us to cool our jets, and Rome wasn't built in a day, but he seems to think it's coming. So I'm glad to see him out there in the Twitterverse. Also, last night, Cryptopolis posted this, Coining203, which if you're not following Coining203, follow him, and if you're not following at Cryptopolis_X, follow him as well. Coining203 is out meeting with legislators and discussing crypto, taking action, helping to make changes. Congrats. So Coining203 is what Darren Soto, who is the congressman in the Central Florida area, who is one of the two congressmen that's involved in the Token Taxonomy Act, and Coining203 got to meet him last night and talk to him, and I've talked to Coining since then, and he's going to be on Brad Kimes' show today. So if you get a chance, watch Brad Kimes' show today, because Coining's going to be on and share his experience last night, and I know he did a lot while he was there, so you might want to check it out. And he's a great guy, and if you're not following Coining203, you need to. This guy is a real XRP OG and knows what he's doing. Okay, Pomp put this on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I thought it was just like the worst tweet ever. Bitcoin has many use cases. Holding is a use case. Transacting is a use case, mining is a use case, speculating is a use case. Bitcoin has many use cases. It's probably his worst tweet ever. I think if he can untweet something, he probably should have untweeted that one. That was horrible. Most everyone has heard that the Q4 report was released yesterday by Ripple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through just a couple things that I saw in it that I wanted to share with you. If you haven't read it, please go read it. But let me tell you what I saw that I thought was interesting. All right, so Q4 2019 XRP market report. I'm going to go to my highlighted areas. XRP timeline. The decentralized XRP ledger is the home of XRP, a digital asset built for payments. In June of 2012, 100 billion units of XRP were created with the stipulation that no more XRP would ever be created. Later that year, September 2012, Ripple was founded and was gifted a portion of this XRP. Ripple did not create XRP. The available XRP supply decreased over time as fractional amounts are burned, destroyed to pay transaction costs. Okay? Since the creation of the XRP ledger, the number of closed transactions has exceeded 51 million as of December 31st of 2019, with over 150 known validators participating in the network. All right, so there's the lowdown. Now, let's see here. It goes on to say, as many readers may recall, in Q2 of 2019, Ripple shifted to a more conservative volume benchmark for XRP sales away from CoinMarketCap and CryptoCompare top tier, and significantly reduced XRP sales. Okay, so in Q3 of 2019, Ripple further reduced XRP sales and paused programmatic sales. Ripple maintained this approach throughout the entirety of Q4. And it goes on to say there is still much progress to be made, and Ripple will continue to evaluate its benchmarks and work proactively with industry participants toward addressing the persistence of fake volumes in industry volume data. So that's what all this talk is about as far as CoinMarketCap and Crypto Compare is the people at Ripple want these companies that are reporting the volumes of cryptocurrencies to get more accurate. Okay, so that's what all that is about, and that's something that they're working on. Last quarter XRP sales were 13 million versus 66 million the previous quarter. In addition, Ripple continued to pause the programmatic sales, focusing solely on our over-the-counter OTC sales with a few strategic partners who are building XRP utility and liquidity in strategic regions, including EMEA and Asia. Let's see here. Representing 78% drop. So this was total sales of OTC end of the quarter. Okay, it was a 78% reduction in OTC sales. And moving on. Okay, escrow. Q4 activity. In Q4 of 2019, 3 billion XRP were again released out of escrow, 1 billion each month. Of note, in December of this quarter, Ripple returned a full 1 billion back in escrow for the first time ever. In total, across the quarter, 2.7 billion XRP were returned and subsequently put into escrow contracts. So essentially, they pulled out 3 billion XRP and they sold 300 million XRP, and 2.7 billion went right back into the escrow. Now, there are some people that believe that the majority of that escrow has been pre-allocated to banks, financial institutions, potentially governments, the IMF, the Fed. We don't know if that's true. Solid, pure speculation. But it will be interesting to see as time goes on if there is any pre-allocation of that escrow, which I believe there might be. Okay, moving on. On-demand liquidity. In November of 2019, Ripple announced over 24 companies have become ODL customers. And additionally, okay, so the USD MXN Mexican corridor and the USD Philippine corridors, and they went into production, and also Australia into USD and the PHP, which is the Philippine corridor. And let's see here, and a new production of ODL corridor from Euro to USD. Plans for additional corridors across APAC and EMEA and LATAM are in progress for 2020. All right, so additional corridors coming. There are not very many corridors open, guys, and we hear, I don't know if it's 10 or 12 or 14 right now, to be exact, but you know, I have heard there are as many as 22,000 available corridors. So until they slam open these doors, we're not going to see the kind of volume that we know we're going to see in the future. All right. So in 2019, dollar value transaction through ODL increased more than 100 times between Q1 and Q4, and specifically from Q3 to Q4 by 650%. That's a huge jump, but it's not nearly where we need it to be. Not even close, but it's great. We're moving in the right direction. That's awesome. But we need this number to get to, you know, crazy numbers like when we saw XRP go up 36,000%. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we need to see. The number of ODL transactions also increased by 390% from Q3 to Q4, showcasing high customer demand for leveraging digital assets, specifically XRP, and cross-border transactions. In addition, Ripple made an investment in Bitso, the largest exchange in Mexico, to support RippleNet's liquidity for payments. Okay, and there's some more stuff you can go back and read it yourself. But okay, new liquidity partnerships, derivatives market. Derivatives trading in digital assets recorded remarkable growth in 2019. XRP derivatives may further develop in 2020 amid a continuous general crypto derivative boom that is set to outpace spot volume by multiples. Everybody believes this is where we're going to see major increase in activity and volume is when derivatives get involved. XRP derivatives are a potentially important tool in order to manage exposure and transactions through Ripple's cross-border payment solutions where XRP is leveraged. I mean, I just read that tweet by Dilip Rao, and he was talking about derivatives too. So apparently that's going to be a big thing here in 2020. So borrowing and lending, the digital asset borrowing and lending market saw substantial momentum throughout the past year. As this market is now considered a $5 billion industry, XRP has become available on many of the largest platforms in crypto lending, including Genesis, Celsius, Nexo and Salt. The momentum has been fueled by several factors: low interest rates in many fiat currencies, a growing number of digital asset market participants seeking working capital, and an increasing number of long-term digital asset holders looking to generate yield. While concerns over a crypto credit bubble have started to emerge, the growth potential for this market remains substantial into this year and beyond. All right, so this is making interest on your cryptocurrency, guys. This is what we all would like to do at some point in the future, especially, and some people are doing it now, but when the values get higher, it's going to be really, really great. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about as far as the insights was concerned. And I'm going to jump back to, okay, in my YouTube thumbnail, I had the picture of Christine Lagarde staring at a painting, and I wanted to showcase the person who did that painting, Danny Torres on Twitter. She's at Danny Torres 0407, created that painting. She creates XRP-centric paintings and art. I highly recommend you follow her on Twitter. She does beautiful work, and if you're interested, she has a website. It's DannyTorresFineArt.com. I know a lot of people that are going to look to buy things once XRP gets up in price, so I'm hoping she's making a bunch of these and storing them and getting them ready for us. Lastly, I wanted to tell you about this quote. It takes 21 days to develop a habit. So, or to get rid of a bad habit. But if you want to get in shape, guys, you got to do it 21 days straight. You got to do your exercise 21 days straight to develop a habit. And if you want to quit smoking, you got to stop smoking for 21. It takes 21 days for something to get ingrained in your brain. So anything positive that you want to do in your life, give yourself 21 days and watch your life change. I promise you it works. I tell everybody to do this. I learned this a long time ago, and it really, really, really works. Other than that, I remind you to watch Brad Kime's stream from this morning. That's going to air in just a few minutes. And you can catch it on the replay if you want. Coining 203 is going to be on there and talk about meeting with the Congressman last night. And the last thing is keep your eyes out for Lagarde's panel tomorrow with Steve Mnuchin. So that's it, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a veterinarian, and I'm not a crypto expert. These are my opinions only. You do not make any financial decisions based on anything I say. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hey guys, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and please hit the like button if you like it, and the notifications button if you'd like to as well, and then share my video with anybody who you think might do the same. I thank you all very much. Have a fantastic day.